Amatsu in Sunbreak is in contention for the best hunt in all of Monster Hunter history. I am struggling to have words for how wonderful this experience is, for how epic, how well done, how masterfully they have brought Amatsu into the 5th generation. He looks gorgeous, his moveset is insane on every level in the best of ways, and I'm struggling to process just... Oh my god, it's so cool! I honestly don't even want to tell you too much about the actual Amatsu hunt, the Amatsu fight, because it really just is that special. There's so many twists and turns, so many phases, so many special new signature, newly lightning infused, it's like a third form past and rage. There's all sorts going on. There's a surprising middle bit with Itushi, and I need you to go do the hunt. Go do the hunt. Go do the goddamn hunt! My only complaint, really, is that it's honestly a little bit too easy for its place as the climactic title Update 5 final, essentially second boss of Sunbreak. But at the same time, that does mean it's accessible and it's not going to brutally ruin people over and over. But that said, it's still satisfying. It's not like a pushover, but, you know, I was kind of expecting to cart 9 times, and I didn't once. But let that not take away from the sheer joy spectacle that is on display here. You will, and I will, remember this for just the longest time. It really doesn't matter that it's on the Infernal Springs. They use it well. They use the terrain. The fact that it is there does work. The headcanon that the Infernal Springs is Yomogi and Kagaru's destroyed X-Kingdom kind of works, right? But it definitely doesn't take away. You even get that classic Amatsu is dead. Oh, the light returns, which just fills your heart with warm, ooey gooey goodness. And no, I don't even care that I just said ooey gooey goodness on the internet, and that's there forever. That's how good this fight is. And it's just perfect. The Kagero Yomogi plotline just add that little extra cherry on top that gives it that little bit more gravitas. You do feel it. The cutscenes, the cinematics, the voice work is really impactful. There's not a lot of it, but what's there is enough to really stir you to battle. And I just, again, need to stress how excellently they have executed on a 5th gen version of Amatsu. He is over 12 years old, and he has never been better. This is as good of a fight as Fatalis. That is saying a lot. This is as good of a fight as Raging Brachydios. That is saying even more. This is as good as Monster Hunter gets, and it is a definition of why we love this series so much, when you can have this kind of clash with a creature that is pure storm incarnate. And talking of storm, it's so cool to see Amatsu having lightning and thunder infused into his wind attacks, because he is the storm dragon, the oncoming calamity. And he does so much creative things with Sunwind in his ultimate attack, and the way you have to avoid it. It's just, I need to stop, but I can't stop. I love this series. Anyway, his armor and weapons.
You're as beautiful as the day I lost you.
Oh yes, that classic Amatsu look. It is back and doing its thing. Weirdly though, and I'm sorry that this may burst a bubble that was building and inflating most grandiosely, the armor's kind of bad? I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of bad? Well, we'll see. So, let's get into this. His new signature skill is Heaven Sent. What this will do is, if you're near the monster and you've not been hit for long enough, you will then get a buff that will mean the next time you do take damage, that damage will be reduced, and for as long as you do have that, the next hit will be reduced buff, you also use less stamina. And then when you switch skill swap, you get some sharpness back or reload some ammo, depending on what weapon you're using. The second rank just makes that happen faster, so you need to avoid getting hit for less time, and then the third one makes it so stamina and sharpness consumption just never goes down at all for as long as you don't take damage, which on the face of it is ridiculous, but you do take damage in a hunt unless you're a perfect speedrunner, but even they take damage in the hundreds of hunts you don't see, so it is going to be hard to maintain. But if you are dual blades with infinite stamina, with enough evade window, you can essentially infinitely dodge the monster, never run out, live forever, and just absolutely annihilate it. Heaven Sent has just the highest skill ceiling going. I think in practicality for us mere mortal hunters, it's probably not as good, but this is definitely a speedrunner's ultimate dream, at least on certain weapons, and it's going to look very cool when you watch someone who's very good at this game play with Heaven Sent. You also get statuses gone when you do swap scrolls on level 3 too. And the thing is, if we go to the rest of the skills in the armor, the helmet has 5 evade window on it by itself. That is nutty. That is a good skill, at least as far as defensive skills go. So yeah, that coupled with infinite stamina on dual blades, you see why that's the example I keep falling back on, because wow. The slot-wise is also very good, as it is on nearly every single piece. And we are working with a 4 and a 3. The chest gives us 1 rank of that Heaven Sent and a bit of crit boost, and we get a 4-4-1, so very good too. The gloves also a 4-4-1, more Heaven Sent and a bit of latent power. Latent power is obviously kind of lame, really, so we don't really need to worry about that too much. It's just fine. This is there if you want that full Heaven Sent. The waist is by far the worst piece, as it's just 4 ranks of latent power, and again, latent power, not very good. Even this much of it, this easily, with a 4 and a 3. Finally, the boots then, double 4, 2 finished, Heaven Sent and crit boost. So yeah, the free Heaven Sent pieces do give you a lot of decoration slots, and you'll get your crit boost, and that's a good basis to work with if you're going to all in on that skill, which again is either going to be absolutely terrible or make you an immortal death-dealing god, depending on the weapon, how good you are, and the way that you play your hunt. So it's definitely very interesting, but I can't deny I was expecting perhaps something a bit more like earth-shattering from the Amatsu armor, but perhaps we'll get that from the weapons. Yeah, Silkbind attacks with the Amatsu weapons do bonus damage. And the Amatsu weapons are not bad. 360 raw with purple sharpness, a level 3 rampage deco. Yes, no decoration slots, but that is a tasty base. So if we think us great sworders, we just essentially only do strong arm stance, that's the Silkbind attack, and this boosts it, as well as having a ridiculously high raw. That might result in kinda lunacy, if I'm honest with you, so there is a lot of potential here, and it definitely needs testing, so Amatsu weapons certainly are firmly on the menu if your weapon relies heavily on those Silkbind attacks. And just to shift over to decorations, Rampage 1 specifically for defeating Amatsu, you do get some very interesting ones. Some weapon-specific ones that you can have a look at as I go down them. There are a few that very much might interest you, but the one that I really want to kind of point out is Growth here, which will just raise your attack and defense as the hunt goes on, capping at 20 minutes. That's really nice, a different kind of style of Fortify, immortal build maybe. And then Wirebug Rampage, a level 1 that gives you an extra 30 seconds of third Wirebug. That is actually really effective, especially again if you're a Silkbind attack spammer. I love that. And then we have some actual new decorations from Amatsu, double ammo up, double agitator, double blade scale hone, and that shock-proof, multiplayer-friendly, you can't knock people over new skill. So that all said then is Amatsu, a wonderful fight with a very interesting, at minimum, set of equipment, and this is ultimately going to be massively game-changing, and that's really cool to see. For now then, look forward to the Pro and Noob, and of course our coverage of everything else, Title Update 5, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, consider supporting the future channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.